Hello everyone and welcome back to Intensely Relaxed Gaming. We're here to finish off the Night of the Zealot campaign for Arkham Horror the card game. But before we get into that, I do want to let you guys know about giveaways that are going to be happening across this channel and of course our Facebook page, which is that at certain arbitrarily determined milestones, i.e. 100, 250, 500 and dare I say 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing giveaways. Obviously when I noticed that milestone's hit after gathering myself, I will do a short video on the YouTube channel inviting subscribers to leave a comment. Depending on what the content of that milestone video is will determine what I expect you to do in the comments. And then we will determine a winner and you'll receive the prize. So more details for that coming up, but enough of that. Let's get diving into the Devourer Below, which is the final sequence in the Night of the Zealot campaign. And just before we go into reading the fluff and having a look, obviously last time we did end up with 7 experience points. And I did make a slight mistake at the end, thinking that I was reading Resolution 2, which meant that I had not finished before midnight, where in fact, because I resigned just before midnight, that effect doesn't happen. With the 7 experience points though, I do vaguely remember having played this scenario. It was a little time ago, and I seem to remember there being a reasonable amount of fighting. So for what I'm doing, I've decided to get rid of the level 1 Vicious Blow, one of my copies of Night, Hyper Awareness and a Barricade. And for that I've added a second Dynamite Blast to my Dynamite Blast to my deck. I've put in a Police Badge just because I think my will stats is quite low. That might be useful. And then I've added 2 upgraded versions of the Vicious Blow. So you see that it's 2, 2, 2, and then to swap out a 0 is 1 as well. So that's where my 7 experience points have gone. And I just seem to remember that there is a feeling of being overwhelmed by enemies, I seem to recall. And the fact that I only managed to get rid of 3 of the cultists, 3 of them got away, do leads me to believe that not only will I be dealing with whatever the big bad is in this scenario, but I will obviously be dealing with those cultists that I was unfortunately not able to stop in the Midnight Masks. So while I'm shuffling away, we are going to read the fluff for the Devourer Below. So, after a frantic nighttime search throughout Arkham, you have tracked down and questioned several members of the cult. Your findings are disturbing. They claim to worship a being known as Mordhoth. Mordhoth? I'm going to butcher that. A monstrous entity from another realm. You are able to confirm much of Lita's story. The cult is agitated over the destruction of a ghoul lair. However, a surprising detail also turns up. The one who invaded the lair and set this night's events in motion was none other than Lita Chanter herself. You are not sure why this important detail was omitted from Lita's story. Well, I can think of several. Did she tell you only as much as was necessary to draw you into a conflict? Possibly, but in another light, she seems to be fighting to protect the city of Arkham from a terrible menace. The final piece of the puzzle was found written in a journal possessed by one of the cultists. It describes a dark ritual to be performed deep within the woods south of Arkham this very night. According to the journal, the ritual's completion will open a gate and bring forth the cult's dark master into this world. If the cult is not stopped, Lita warns, there is a possibility that Mordhoth's vengeance will consume all in its path. Frightened but determined to stop the ritual, you head into the woods. Okay, so I think that's enough shuffling. What we have done then, we've gathered the right encounter set, we've put this main path down and then chosen 4 at random of these Arkham Woods cards that I've dotted around there, which shows, I guess, that we're a bit lost. We don't know the woods very well. 2 of the cards from the set are set out of play. Because we had 3 cultists who got away. We start with 2 doom already on agenda 1, which means we're only a couple of turns from flipping. If it had been past midnight, we would have had to discard 2 cards from our opening hand. So that's where the state of play is to start with. And then in order to progress the act by investigating the trail, we have to get 3 clues per investigator. So that's obviously just 3 in solo. I'm just having a look at my opening hand. So I've got a gun, which I think is probably pretty decent. A guard dog, probably not going to say no to that. Do I need evidence? Possibly. No, I'm going to chance it. I'm going to draw 3 more, see what we get. Okay, I'm a little bit more pleased with that. We've got a vicious blow upgraded there, and we have a dynamite blast as well. I would have liked Lita because she's very, very strong, but we've got a gun. So overall, I'm not too unhappy with that. So I've got to find 3 clues. If we flip over the main path, what have we got? So we're in the middle of the path, and it says, Hangman's Brook separates uptown from the woods south of Arkham. Passing over the small bridge, you follow the main path deeper into the forest. So we find ourselves here. The main path is connected to each other woods location. And there's an option to resign. I mean, we could do that straight away. Shortest Arkham video ever. Take a drink, and if you haven't got a drink, I'll wait for you. Go and get one. You need it. By I'm going to wait for you, you can clearly just hit the pause button. So I'll let you guys get on with that if that's what you want to do. So first action, really. I'm going to get the gun out straight away, I think, or am I going to get the guard dog? No, I'm going to get the gun out. I feel much more safer being in these dark, dank woods with a gun than necessarily with a dog, although he does look like a pretty good boy. And then, well, north, south, east, west, I guess. Let's start with the north. Let's go around clockwise until something changes my mind. We have 1 clue on this location with a shroud of 2. This location is investigated using your agility instead of the skill indicated by the investigation attempt. Brilliant. So I've got a pretty awful agility stat, but we'll give it a go. I should also add that in this campaign it's asked us to add an additional of these, where is it? Shield tokens. No, not shield tokens, sorry. It is one with the heart. Where's the heart ones? I'm going to find it right at the very bottom, aren't I? There we go. So there's one of these added to the bag, which is pretty bad as it adds a -5 to your result, and if there is an ancient one in play, you reveal another token. So that's just pretty much a guaranteed loss for whatever that is. So we'll put all these away. So I've got an agility of 2, shroud of 2, so this is a pretty hard one. Oh, okay, we'll take it. 0 straight off the bat. So we get 1 clue, so we're 1/3 away, but that is my 3rd action. I won't talk through quite so many of the points this time. So we're going through that, adding a doom, and drawing an encounter. What have we got? Mordor's Wrath, test will, 5. For each point you fail by, choose and discard 1 card from your hand or take 1 horror. Well, this is pretty awful. I don't know if I've got anything to help with will. I've got the dynamite blast, but I'm honestly not going to take it. I think I'd just rather discard stuff. So let's see what we get. So we're currently at 5 versus 3. 5 versus 3, so it's 1 versus 3. So I've got to literally discard 4 cards or choose to take 1 damage and 1 horror. Well, I can get rid of the working on a hunch. I guess I'll get rid of the guard dog. So that's 2, so that takes me up to 3 versus 5. I still need to get rid of 2 more. I need the magnifying glass, so I'm going to have to get rid of the vicious blow and the dynamite blast. Or do I keep one of them? I'm going to keep one of them. Hopefully it won't be too bad, and I'll take a damage and a horror. Try and balance it a little bit this way, but unfortunately Roland doesn't have very good horror resistance, so that was a pretty awful one to get straight off the bat. Not going to lie. Okay. Did I draw? Yes, I did. So where are we going to go then? I think we'll just keep going round the woods. So I'm going to go 1 and then 2 to these woods. We've got one more clue, Shroud of 3. When you move out of it, I've got to test my investigate, and if I fail, I don't move out. Okay. As a fast action, I'm going to play my magnifying glass, taking my investigate up to 4. I'm going to try and investigate for my final action. What does the skull do? X. Minus X, where X is the number of enemies in play. Well, there aren't any. So, again, my investigation is coming off quite strong. Not anything else, but the investigate is coming off strong. So we'll draw a card at the end of turn and gain a resource. There's no monsters to move, nothing exhausted. This does come back into my hand though, because there are no clues on. And then we are going to go up to 4 Doom. Let me just check to remind myself. Yes, so it is that right? Right, yeah, so it's Doom first. So Doom first. So we get rid of these 4 Doom tokens. We find ourselves throughout the wood. A shrieking cry echoes. From somewhere deeper in the forest, a score of hideous voices answer the call. Inhuman as the baying of hounds and yet articulate, repeating a singular name. Umordath, Umordath, Umordath. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and discard cards from the top until a monster enemy is discarded. Spawn that enemy at the main path and then place 1 Doom on that enemy. So we shuffle that one back in, just the one. So that's all I've got to so far. And then we are going to discard until we reach a monster. There's a monster. Young Deep One is in the main path and it comes in with a Doom on it. Okay, so 1 Doom on the Young Deep One. Right. So it is going to chase after me and it's going to take a horror as soon as I engage it. Right, well we've got to try and see if we can leave this place first, because that's not going to be easy. I need equal. Is there anything I can discard to do it? I don't want to discard the investigation, the magnifying glass. Ugh. What's a shield do? -3, so, and there's no monster at my location, but it's still a -3. It's the second time to try and get out of these woods. A skull. That's going to still be enough because my investigation stat is 3. And final action, -2. So I'm stuck there at the moment, which is less than ideal. Card and resource, second magnifying glass, but at least that enables me to discard it potentially. This hunter is going to move and attach to me. Won't attack because it happens afterwards again, I believe. Let me just double check. Oh no, it is going to attack. So it is going to, because it engaged me, I'm going to take a horror. And then I'm going to dodge because I cannot afford to keep taking horror damage. So that is the end of that turn. And that's it. I think I already drew a card. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. I got the second magnifying glass. Okay, and so then we go and put one Doom on here. Just trying to remember to keep track of the turns in the right order. So I've got an Acolyte now, spawn on any empty location. After it enters play, place one Doom on it. Okay, well we'll put that in the main path because we need to go back through there. And otherwise this Doom is building up a bit. I've got this young deep one on me. So I think I'm just going to try and shoot it. It's got 3 damage. 3 health rather, so I think we're just going to go straight for it. Yeah, we've got a stat of 5 versus 6-3. That deals, I should put the ammo tokens on here to represent it. So there's 3 left, and it's now taken 2 damage. See if we can finish it off. Second shot with the gun. Skull is -1, so we still managed to beat it, so that's it cleared off at least. Unfortunately, I don't have any clues that the location's still around, so I don't get to go around that. And this time I am going to discard one of my magnifying glasses to try and get through into the main path again, because this is a really bad location to try and get out of. Auto fail. Wow, brilliant. Okay, so now we go through to their phase. He's not going to move because he doesn't have Hunter. I'm going to get Guts, which might come in handy, and I will gain a resource. And then we put a Doom on here, and we have got a Ghoul minion. So that is going to spawn on me again. So I'm trying to fight my way out, and they're keeping me trapped in here very nicely. I'm going to try and shoot this Ghoul. It's 5 versus 2, should be okay. -1, it is okay. So that Ghoul minion straight out comes darting through the trees. I pick it off straight away. And then we're going to go for trying to escape out of here again. So again, 3 versus 3. No, 4, -4, and 3 versus 3. 0! Thank the baby. Right, okay, we are out. Although it instantly means it's going to attach to me. And we are going to get hit. So on its turn, it's going to do 1 health damage to me. And then I'm going to draw and gain a resource. Got the old book of lore now, which might be helpful to try and get through to some of these cards which are actually going to help me. Put a Doom on here, so we're at 3 plus the 1 on the cultist for 4, so we haven't quite got there yet until we draw Ancient Omens, which causes all the Doom to be consumed, adds an additional one which tips us over the edge. A dark presence approaches. You're assaulted by invisible pressures that bring you to your knees. A terrible force threatens to invade your mind and soul. Your throat clenches and your eyes water as the sensation burns through you. In player order, each investigator must test Will 6. Each investigator who fails must search a collection for a random basic weakness card and add it to his or her hand. Lovely. Well, I have Guts, so I will play that just to make me stand some sort of a chance. It's 5 versus 6, so there is at least 2 ways that I could beat this, but only 2. Is it this one? It's not this one. So I need to search the collection for a basic weakness card, which I believe in these. Basic weakness, or basic random madness weakness. So let's, I think it's only these 2. Oh, they're not even in this set. I need to be careful with that. I think it's hyperchondria. Oh no, there's psychosis as well. Anything else? Curse, madness, paranoia, madness, amnesia. That's right. Yeah, these are all shuffled in a bit, I think. Hope I'm not sleeping too loudly. My hay fever is playing up something rotten today. Okay, so we've got all of those to choose from. So there is a selection. Let's see what we got when we've got to add it to our hand. We have got Haunted. Add Haunted to your threat area. You get -1 to each of your skills. I mean, it sounds bad, but I've got a feeling it could have been a lot worse. Okay. We do have this cultist here. We're back to 5 doom before the threshold though, so we've got 2 clues, but we've been stuck because we were stuck in the woods for so long. I'm just going to try and punch the acolyte with my fist, I think. So that's 1. Oh no, it's got with the God. I don't want to waste my vicious blow. I really don't. I'll go 3 versus 3 for the first one. Hope I don't regret it. Probably will. Oh, I won't. 0. Okay. I'm just as surprised as any of you. So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to discard this for the next one because I just can't afford to have -1 to each of my skills. Draw a card. Got a flashlight. Got another resource. Resources is not a problem. I'm going to add first doom to the agenda. We've got mysterious chanting. Place 2 doom on the nearest cultist. If there are no cultist enemies in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a cultist enemy and draw it. So it says the encounter deck first of all. So let's find that. Oh, first one at the top. And put it into play. Discard it and draw it. Shuffle the encounter. Oh, okay. So shuffle this. Okay, so we have a Wizard of the Order. Spawn in any empty location. You can go back into the woods. And it's got Retaliate. At the end of the Mythos phase, place 1 doom on the Order of the Wizard. Oh, bugger. We're going to put him here then. We'll put him there. I was hoping to just keep him out of the way, but that forced effect is really brutal. What are we going to do? I think for the first action we're going to put down the flashlight because we need to make sure we get through these clues. I'm going to take a bit of a risk. I'm going to play the Old Book of Lore as well. And my final action is actually going to be to search the Old Book of Lore because I really need some stuff to help me through this really bad time. I've got Roland's special, so I think that's pretty much going to be an auto include there. At 3. Is it discard? And shuffles the remaining, sorry. One of them was a basic weakness that I already had, so not upset to see that go away because I think that would just be piling on misery at this point. Okay, so that's my 3. That was exhausted. The wizard doesn't go because it hasn't got hunter, so it's just going to stay there. Untap, draw, gain a police badge. Well, that's pretty helpful as well, but it's got my things split there because I mean it's useful, isn't it? It is good. You can't say it's not. Oh, I've got 3 hands. I've just realised, so I'm going to discard this. Can't have 3 hands. Don't have 3 hands. We're going to put a doom on here. We get a doom on the wizard. So we're at 3 of 5, which is pretty scary. And there is now 2 extra doom on the wizard. Doesn't trigger it because of the way the ordering goes, but it means I now really desperately need to kill that. Otherwise we are just going to instantly pop the 3rd agenda. what are we going to do for killing this cultist? Because I am going to have the hand problem in a moment anyway. I'm going to use the old Book of Law because it's going to get discarded, I think. That's probably what I'm going to do. Medical text, machete, or research librarian. Well, medical text, I'm not really needing the damage. The research librarian is a bit, the machete is a bit, am I going to need it? Famous last words. Research librarian can at least suck up some horror for me because I am very, very low. So I think that's going to be my rationale. So we will shuffle those back in. Okay, so that was my first action. My second action is going to be to play Roland's gun, and that's going to cost me 3. So, but he does come in with 4 ammo. Oh no, hold on. The Book of Law is a thing, isn't it? So we'll put those back. Going to use the book. The Book of Law is going to have been used. I'm not going to get Roland's firearm out. I'm going to move because that's the second action. Forgetting that moving is an action. We're going to flip over the Arkham Woods. There is a final clue there that I need. And this is going to engage me. And then I need to test my will. And for each one I fail, I take 1 horror and 1... Wow, 1 horror and 1 damage. The damage is less of a problem. The horror is pretty awful. I think I need to get rid of the police badge, which I'm really going to need the turns for, but it does offer a wild and a will. And I can't afford to take the horror. So we go up to 5. Oh. 5 minus 2 takes us down to 3, which means I have to take 1 damage and 1 horror. So I'm alive, if only just. Then as the wizard's attached to me, I'm going to attack him with Vicious Blow as well, because I really need to kill him. So it's going to be 4, 5, 6 versus its 4. Oh, minus 1. I don't know what the other one was. Where did that go? Luckily I didn't draw it. So minus 1 takes us to 5, so we do win, and it's going to do 2 damage at least, so that kills him off. Thank God for that. When I kill something, I do gain a clue at my location, which enables us to finally flip this act. Whew, I don't know about you guys, but this is getting pretty stressful. Scattered throughout the forest, you've seen glyphs and arcane sigils in various places, etched into the bark of trees, carved upon the faces of stones, and dripped in blood upon the ground. Though you cannot decipher these glyphs, you notice that most of them tend to face south. Following these signs leads you by twists and turns towards a cave in the darkest and coldest parts of the forest. As you advance, shadowy figures emerge from the trees, blocking the only path to the cave. Put the set-aside ritual site into play if it is not already in play. Search the collection for each enemy recorded in your campaign log under cultists who got away, and then spawn those enemies at the main path. Right, so we did have... oh, they're not in there. I don't suppose they're supposed to be. Oh, search the collection. Search the collection. I'm being silly. The collection is here. So we did not get Ruth. We did not get Herman, and we did not get Pete. No, we did get Herman. We didn't get Victoria Devourer. That's who we didn't get. Let's put those back away. So all of these 3 charmers are in the main path. and I need to get to the ritual site, which is connected to this main path now. So let's separate those out. These three are sat here, and they're going to be in the main path. I could really do with the bomb now, but do any of them have hunter? None of them have hunter. So we are going to ready that back up, draw a card, gain a resource, and then we advance the doom and draw a card. What have we got? Place one doom on the current agenda. Blimey, that's just escalated us up a turn, hasn't it? Right, I really need the bomb because I can cast it straight away. I can throw it straight away. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look for the Book of Law and need that bomb. None of them there. Do have Vicious Blow, so I'm not going to say no to Vicious Blow. What can we do? What can we risk? Oh, I should have... It didn't say spend 3 clues, though, did it? Just said had 3 clues. So if I evade her, she goes away. If I spend 2 clues on that, that one goes away. And spend 5 resources, that one goes away. I don't think any of that's going to happen. I think my final action is... no, I've still got one action, haven't I? I've done that. I'll get Roland out. Roland's pistol out for 3. Because I'm going to need a gun. And... oh, this is a tough choice. I really need to get the dynamite. Because otherwise it's a very bad use. I'm gonna do that because I think otherwise I haven't got enough turn to go in and do what I need to do to kill them or deal with them anyway, and they'll just be able to smash me back. And although that's only 3 damage, it's still 3 damage, which takes me down to 3 health. So we'll just do this first of all. So I drew a machete, not the greatest. I don't have hunter. So I'm going to draw 1 and gain a resource, and then we will put a doom on the agenda, which is going to cause it to flip. Wonder what's going to happen here. I'm sure it's not good. When the agenda advances, if they are in Act 1, set aside ritual site into play and spawn Udmardeth there. If they're in 2 or 3, discard all enemies in the ritual site and spawn the set aside Udmardeth there. Well, he's there. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have been there, but maybe that's just me not playing as optimally as I could have. Oh, and it flips, so replace the current act and agenda with the Devourer card. This card is both the act and the current objective. So now I just need to defeat Umordeth that has 10 health. Okay. Oh no, sorry, no. This needs to go to 5 first. Was that, no? No, when it advanced, I've just done that, haven't I? Yep, so we no longer need to worry about that. Umordeth's there, we've got the whole load of the cultists there. And we've got an option with Umordeth that if we can choose to throw Lita Chandler at him. I mean, it might have to be that option. I don't want to get dark about it, but if it's the only option other than running away, it's an option. Okay, what are we going to do? This is where we have to decide whether we're going to go in and deal with them. Because Umordeth has Hunter. So Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Trying to work out what to do. Either going in there and dealing with their respective abilities, or, you know, you've got Umordath as well, or trying to get this dynamite. I mean, the dynamite is only 3 damage. I say only 3 damage, but it is 3 damage. If I can go somewhere where there are clues as well, the pistol does a lot of, makes it very, you know, far more likely. I also don't have things that are buffing my stat. I don't have Lita, I don't have the Beat Cop. So it makes doing this damage to this guy pretty unpredictable, or certainly not on the high side. I can't take a single hit from him either, which is the other thing. So having some dynamite would be particularly helpful. I'm gonna do Old Book of Lore, because the worst thing is he'll be there next turn. I've got no clock other than trying to evade this guy. I mean, flashlight, I guess. None of them are particularly helpful. I don't want the basic weakness, well, the weakness per se. And then I think I'm just going to draw 2 more cards. I'm searching a lot for this. Beat Cop, okay, that's not awful. So I can't play him yet, I haven't got enough resources. But I'm going to make sure I have enough resources for next turn by discarding the emergency cache. So I've got 3 more. Enemy's movement, he's going to go to here. I'm going to take a resource and draw a card. I don't have to worry about Doom, and I've finally got Dynamite Blast. I mean, this is very helpful. Whew. Okay. So in terms of who's here, these 2 have 3 hit points, and Ruth annoyingly has 4. Umordath has 10. I'm not going to try and ready about him, but I believe because he's massive, he doesn't actually attach to me. Let me just check that for everyone at home. I'm fairly certain that is. An enemy with a massive keyword cannot be placed in an investigator's threat area. Oh, but he is still going to trigger an attack of opportunity. Ooh. So I've got almost no chance of running away from it. I could really use another dodge, but I don't think I have a second dodge. So how are we going to play this? This is going to be very difficult, I think. So I'm not certain whether I'm going to get out of where I am with Umordath. He's got 10 health, so even if I do the Dynamite Blast, he's going to hunt and attach to me. Which means that he will more than likely do enough damage to put me out of the fight. I've only got 2 actions, so I'm pretty certain this is going to be the end, isn't it? I'm trying to desperately think of a way around it. I think I got the Dynamite Blast too late, so let's go out with a bang. It's the only thing I can do. And that is by, we'll Vicious Blow, and we're going to go in with Roland. So we're going to go out swinging. Or we can just leave the woods. But I don't think that, I mean, that's not really in the spirit of it, is it? I mean, I'm just going to dive at him and try and do as much damage as I can. So we're going to come in here and we're going to do we're going to shoot with Roland, so we're going to discard one of these. It only gets +1, unfortunately. And then we're going to do the vicious blow, so it takes up my stat up by 3, so I'm at 7 versus the murder's 5. So am I going to spit in its eye? That's what I hope. +0, so we do. So we're going to do 1 damage, +1 from the gun, +2 from the upgraded vicious blow. So it does take 4 damage. But all the 3 of these guys and the hunter, that doesn't attach to me, but he's going to attack me. And that is going to be more than enough to finish poor Roland off. So I think we were pretty unlucky in that, I have to say. I got the beat cop a bit late, which delayed me quite a lot. I never got Lita Chandler, which would have helped a lot as well with gaining more damage, gaining extra fight to make it consistent. No Christopher. No fight training or anything really that could have helped me build my board, really, about making sure that I could consistently get through these 3 guys. Obviously I put 2 dynamite blasts in. I had to discard one fairly early on, and then I didn't see the second one until I was in the last quarter of my deck, which really was unfortunate because it delayed that extra turn. If I could have blown them up and then maybe walked away and bought myself an extra turn. It's very difficult. I think this scenario is sort of meant to mean that you know that there are times when you really can't win. But that's the end of Roland, that's the end of the scenario. It's ended with his dramatic and heroic death, spitting in the eye of Mordeth, taking him down quite a lot. He could have chucked the bomb and done 3, I guess. He could have potentially, if he had that police badge, he might have stood a bit of a chance with the police badge, because discarding it allows you to have 2 extra actions. So if he'd had the dynamite blast, not needed to use the Book of Law, things may have been very different. You know, you could have seen that the dynamite would have done 3 to everyone in there, done 3 to Mordeth. He goes in for his second action, and then he's got 3 attacks. One which did 4 on my turn, so he would have been at 7, and then 2 more pistol rounds, potentially doing 2 each because of Roland's special. You could have seen how things may have gone slightly differently. So it is unfortunate. There is a way that you could see with the cards in the deck that you could have made that happen, but that's the fun of Arkham. You really don't know how you're going to get screwed. You're just probably on average going to get screwed. So thanks everyone for joining us for this finale of Night of the Zealot. We are going to proceed into the next campaign, the Dunwich Cycle, Dunwich Legacy, whichever the name of it is. We're going to probably be doing Ashcan Peak, because again we're going to be limited to the investigators that are freely available in that expansion or before it, and of course only using cards from the Dunwich Cycle or from the core box as well. None of the cycle cards, and obviously none of the later expansions. So I do hope you've enjoyed this. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you do enjoy this. Please feel free to leave any comments below, any suggestions, any thoughts on how this turned out, how you may have played things differently. I'm certainly by no means an experienced player, so any guidance, any suggestions will be taken as such. And stay tuned for the first subscriber giveaway. We're just about 20 subscribers away. We're up to 80 so far. So if we can hit that 100 milestone, watch out for a video then. But for now, take care. Goodbye.